Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Paratactic podcast. I'm your host, Steven Suntries, writer-producer behind Paratactic Pictures, bringing you another episode. For today, my next guest is the brilliant writer, director, post-production sound specialist, all-around good dude, Bruce LeGrow. He was the director for all episodes of Car Wash Wars. He was such an invaluable asset for this production long before we even stepped on set. So in this conversation, we get into what it was like building this series from scratch, from the writer's room to the shot listing, Bruce's approach to directing and blocking dialogue-heavy and set-piece scenes in Car Wash Wars. We also talk about Bruce's broader creative life, growing up in Cape Breton and PEI and working through the ups and downs of New Brunswick's film industry over the past 15 years. And he really shares some great perspective on how to make it in New Brunswick's industry and be a team player. So, without further ado, episode 3 of the Paratactic Podcast. Bruce LeGrow.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm mildly comfortable. And,
Two guys in one small couch.
Yeah. This is good. No, I'm happy to be here. This is awesome. Let's happy to talk anything Car Wash Wars related.
We'll start with Car Wash Wars and go beyond. Well, I guess we're going to start a little before Car Wash Wars because you had shown me some of your work and with your short fur earwigs.
Yes.
It was one of those moments where Car Wash Wars got greenlit, and I just woke up at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night being like, Bruce needs to direct Car Wash Wars.
Cool.
And asking you, and sorry, this is a long-winded intro, but
this is a great intro. I'm enthralled.
You throughout pre-production, we all know lower budgets, pre-production is the first thing to not get any money.
Yeah, there's no budget for pre-production.
We had a little writer's retreat, which you were an integral part of, and really kind of a lot of your own material you brought to the table. And the car wash elbow, the bionic arm, and many more elements of Car Wash Wars came from you. But what stands out for me is you were with me every step of the way while writing those scripts. I could text you at 5 a.m. with a crazy idea, and you were just there. So I don't know I'd like to hear your perspective of how that came to be and how it was collaborating and really kind of, because we'll talk about the directing after, but we'll talk about the writing process first.
No, absolutely. And I think you queued it up pretty well. I do a lot of production sound work, and that's a whole thing in and of itself. I love it. It's problem solving. You get to be involved in a lot of stuff, but a lot of it too is you're kind of watching and watching things play out, and I think after enough time it's I want to start getting some of my own ideas out on the stage, if you will. So when I was talking to you about the need and the want to do some more writing work, no, I think it was amazing. It just kind of worked out that you gave me this opportunity, and I thank you for that, because it was huge. It was an experience I really wanted and needed to be involved with Car Wash Wars. So it was a no-brainer just to do anything. And if I'm in for something, in for a penny, in for a pound. So if we're doing it, we're doing it. You know what I mean? We're writing it because a lot of it was through we did the writer's room with everyone. That was amazing. That really got off the ground, and then just from there it's just grinding it out, nuts and bolts scripts, and it's sharing drafts, texting, talking about it. That's my favorite place to be, pre-production. Production, post-production, it's a nightmare. Don't get involved in any of this stuff, but pre-productions, everything's glorious. So dreams, they're going to happen. Everything's going to work out perfect. You can just have so much fun, I find, just dreaming and thinking, and it's basically your thought of I think this is realistic, and often it's not. That's when your dreams get crushed in production. It's all my plans. No, it wasn't so bad, but I love that process though. Yeah, being part of a writer's room, that was I wanted that experience forever, and the Car Wash Wars one was great. We did 2 days, and we basically we beat it out most of the series in there. You did the heavy lifting of kind of deciphering it, but then once we were from there, we had attack plans, and we can tackle episodes, and No, it was a real great experience, and I enjoyed it. Do it again in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully we do.
Yeah, well, shit, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
2026. Yeah, it's our year.
2026 could be it.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it had a great run in 2025 with, the Bell 5. Like, we launched at number 1 on the app, and then, with Trailer Park Boys, obviously.
Yeah.
But hopefully 2026. I mean, I know, like, you and I have talked about season 2. You're such a, like, there's so much of you in the creative. And I just want to talk about, like, after the writer's room, when I was trying to make sense of everything and, like, outlining all the scripts, I just really trusted your feedback. And I remember, I would bring up a potential problem or a problem that I've kind of encountered with the plot. I remember, like, all caps, what if? And you're just always down. And I remember you're such a good collaborator when it comes to, like, I know the vibe of the next beat that we need, but I don't know what exactly it is. And also when it comes to dialogue, the first thing that comes to mind was, like, I knew there was going to be some sort of plot device where Mr. Dulce was going to heal Johnny Pauly's arm temporarily, but the bionic arm, like, you rapid fire ideas, and, like, you're not precious about anything, and it was just awesome. And the other one that I bring up often is in the final episode, Mr. Dulce becomes a vampire. You remember that?
Well, yeah, you wanted, like, what if he's Dracula? Yeah, I shot that one down. But, like, now I was thinking about it, like, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe he should have been Dracula.
I mean, in my head, he was Dracula for a moment.
He was Dracula.
But then it made, like, it opened up the final episode to, like, I think it's a special kind of ending. And anyway, I was just so thankful to have you there. And there's no money involved in pre-production for these shoots. And just, like, again, you definitely represent that in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, totally. And that definitely stems from, just grinding in the ditches and dregs of New Brunswick, doing, like, media work or video, anything. There's some level where you just love the stuff, and, you're willing to do, what it takes to get something done. It's always the fine line to find between, you have to make enough money to live. Mm-hmm. But ultimately you got to, if you're keen to, is, satisfy your creativity and, like, at least try. That's the biggest thing. At this point in my life, like, I'm impressed by anyone who can do anything. Yeah. Like, holy crap. It's a triumph. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone should feel very good about what we achieved, because it was extreme. Like, because Car Wash Wars is dense. Like, even thematically, like, I think we're able to incorporate quite a lot into, a Bell, just the format.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, it lays a lot of groundwork in the first 2 episodes, really. And I find a lot of the feedback, like, episode 3 is really when it turns on. Like, I feel like the engine of the show is established. And I feel like you were, like, I don't know, for me, I was so in my head. And, like, the moment I read your episode 3 script, I was just, like, I was so impressed. And especially the fissured customer.
Yes, our customer with the anal fissure, and that just comes from classic, what I mean? What are these customers going to be doing? They're going to be oversharing things, medical things.
Awful sorry about your cat dying there.
Yes, 12 years ago. Mittens is always with me, though, right here in my purse. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The only thing that keeps my mind off her is the searing pain of my anal fissure.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember talking about, like, knowing what the story beat is, what the vibe is, what needs to happen from it, not knowing what it is. I remember when I was handing off the outline being like, I knew there was a customer that had to traumatize Johnny Pauly.
Yes.
But I had no idea how it was going to happen, and you found the perfect thing.
No, I was impressed with myself for that one. Yeah.
Let's talk about the directing process, because it was in your, like, and this is part of, your role as director, like, giving creative notes and, like, director, like, your vision for the sets, Mr. Dulce's lair, like, that was you, like, how the poly wash, like, it was really a learning experience for me. Like, while you were blocking out the scenes, you're just like a lot of the longer dialogue scenes, you're like, yeah, like, it's a great great scene, but we have to figure out what everyone's doing now.
Yeah, where is everyone in space? Yeah, that's the trickiest part. But that's that's the job as far as I can tell
Right.
for a director, because I think it is different for everyone. But like, yeah, just placing everyone in space. The thing that's most interesting, like you're doing the show. Budgets are what they are, but generally there's never like. You can never do what you want. Like Dulce's lair, like I wanted, it's a Bond lair in the center of the earth. You know what I mean? It's steampunk, all this crazy stuff. Like the neutrino collector, all that kind of those crazy vibes. But like, like you get there and you get it done, and Dulce's lair was fun enough. Like he lived in a
Yeah, it was like the black.
he had
void
his
of
he had
of
his
soul.
black void, his abyss.
Yeah.
He had his abyss.
But in like, and I know a lot of the shots from your shot list didn't end up getting shot due to production challenges. But
Yes.
in the I feel like in the shot listing, the one thing that which I think I had a hunch when I had the epiphany for you to be the director. It was you're very clear about the things that you like in film and in comedy.
Yes.
And you're not afraid to hide your influences, which is something that I really care about, as a writer. And your stylistic vision, like you're like trying to emulate like a Western in a lot of the scenes, like a good, the bad, the ugly thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because totally. Like I just find with your influences, like I feel like those movies I love are a part of my life, and you know what I mean. I'm not trying to like just rip them off, like but like put some heart into it. Like I want to include, I can't deny this. This influence, so just to embrace it. But yeah, with Car Wash Wars, like everything was a standoff. Like there was so much content to get through. Like it was, that was the real challenge. Like because it's dialogue heavy, and we have only so much time and resources. So just trying to shoot it in an economical way. Like I would love to take do some crazier visual stuff, way more camera. It was when you're getting there, it's like, okay, let's get our basic coverage and like, let's get what we can get, we do what we can do. But, in the end, like we got it done, and I'm very happy with what we were able to achieve. But I do feel like it was a lot. Like it was a monumental task, and our crew was amazing. Actors were phenomenal. I'm very happy with it.
So many moments when I'm just like, oh, we have 20 minutes to get this scene.
Yeah.
And, they'd be nailing it like first take. All of them like stepped up when they needed to. And, it was awesome.
That was key. If our actors, like they put, a lot of work in, because it's like a dialogue heavy thing. And, it's a lot to ask of someone. And, like the first takes were amazing on everything. And, like we multicam shot, like cross coverage for everything, just so we had to do less setups, and it worked. Like we got our days, you push a few odd things, in the end we had to go into Dulce's mind on a whole other day, but that was a full day anyway. There was no way, there's not enough hours. I need a 36-hour day to get that one. So that was kind of serendipitous. That was great. So that was our last big night where we had like a ton of extras. We're outside, everyone's in cloaks. It's the druid vibe. Dulce has a fight with himself in the ethereal plane, or however you want to however you want to describe it. But yeah, that wasn't happening on the day at 3 a.m. So but we got there.
There's so many times where things get a little heated, you get grumpy, and like
I love it.
Yeah. But like in the moment it sucks, and like like the stakes feel so high, but then you always get it done.
Yeah, and I don't think you can avoid that. Like, there's so many factors, so many variables, just time and space. Like it was the first day when we did the Great Trial of Molasses. Insane. Like that was just such a huge setup, and like it takes forever, and like but like we got it. Like I had a shot list that was a mile long for that, and that's like one of those moments where shot list out the window. Yeah. Like let's see what we can get, like just our most basic bare bones, and like that happened a few times, but it's for the best anyway, because even just in the editing, you know what I mean, if I was gonna do it again, like I just shoot away, way more stripped down thing, because I love a lot of like little insert shots, and ultimately it takes forever. It's not practical, you know what I mean? It's like it's a different type of production. Like, these things, because of how ambitious it was, like we had to move. So, get our basic coverage, like, just make sure that I always love, just know where everyone is in space and time. No one's teleporting. Everyone's kind of locked in, and you have a sense of that's important to me.
Is there a specific scene or setup or, in terms of the creative, like the production of the whole thing, that you're most proud of, or like is your favorite?
Yeah, well, probably like blocking wise, probably just that intro to like the candlelit circle, like the spirals, like, you know what I mean? Like I wanted that to at least have, like, we needed some mood there. It's like, okay, this is a moment where we actually have to do a shot, and kind of like walk through single file behind our druids, and they kind of reveal Mr. Dulce in the center. That's probably my favorite bit. But like there's a ton of fun stuff. I love the Great Trial. Kayla Polly just going for it, and when I saw how dedicated like Kristen was to just like, okay, she is not afraid to dive on a car covered in molasses, because I was like, once it started happening, like, oh my God, what if the car is rusty and she gets cut? There's too many crazy things again. But luckily the molasses, Crosby molasses, the best molasses.
Yes, is James Crosby.
Yeah, amazing molasses. This molasses was the safest, probably, you know what I mean? There was no
Right. Yeah, no preservatives.
Yeah, exactly.
It
was well protected. Yeah, exactly. No preservatives. It was no microplastics. It was great.
But using real molasses was another learning curve for us
yeah,
on day one.
Nuts.
Yeah, like it stuck with us. It was on the parking lot until the end of the shoot.
And well after. That was I guess a quick aside. Like after, like once the production was over, I just needed to. Did you ever just like wash the dishes out of frustration? So there was a pressure washer, and I was like pressure washing molasses off the pavement. That was just how I was kind of like reconnecting with the universe after a stressful thing. But I just wanted to bring up with the molasses. So we did that. Our first car for the Great Trial molasses was molasses colored.
Yes.
But the molasses still red. It was, that was perfect for that. But then, like, later on when we did the second Great Trial of molasses, for the night scene especially too, it's like, we need a white car. And you made that happen. And I don't know if you want to talk about that, but like that's, you know what I mean? That's really going for it. It's like, I wish we had a white car.
Yeah.
It's greedy.
That was a proud producer moment for me.
Yeah, very impressed with that.
Calling a scrapyard and be like, yeah, I think we have one for you. We just have to remove the gas tank.
Yeah.
That's so safe. It was safe.
Yeah, exactly.
But we couldn't, moving it was a challenge.
That's some of my favorite stuff. It's just people just pushing this thing. It's like we're building the pyramids here. Yeah. Except we're covering a car with molasses and washing it in a ritualistic fashion.
Yeah, there were like the Great Trial, Ancient Trial, like the BG heavy, the background performer heavy scenes. A lot of those, I had so many moments looking at it, being like, what the hell are we putting people through, and why do they seem fine with it? It's
Yeah, that was another one of my favorite bits. Like, whenever we had a crowd, like basically the two trials, the Ancient Trial, the Great Trial, and gambling scenes at the bar. But like at the end, when there was like we did the celebration dance party, and everyone was into it.
And that went on.
That went on for a while because there was a point where like this is done, and then it was like everyone was like, okay, no, it's not done. Camera people wanted to keep shooting. Like, I remember James was like, "Keep this going."
Okay. Like, this is a great moment. Yeah.
Yeah, this is happening. We have to ride this one out. But yeah, no, that whole night, as crazy as it was, some of my favorite stuff came out of the last night of the shoot when we're doing the night shoot, and that's crazy enough too, because one of my other favorite aspects of the production was we had the fly swatter, like the big genie lift thing. It's like, all right, this is the movie flag. Yeah. And like we thought we had a good way that like, oh yeah, we're gonna light this night scene. It's gonna work out perfect. It didn't work. No. Yeah. So that's you know what I mean. I just love those things. Like you get there, like okay, we have to come up with a whole different way to shoot this and do this, and but we did it. Yeah.
So another project I'm helping you with is Discount Wrestling. It's currently in development. I don't know if you want to share a bit about what that's about, or you want to keep it a secret?
So I would call it's like it's like workplace comedy, except the workplace is a wrestling promotion, and not like kind of like Car Wash Wars, like it's a real world building exercise, like Car Wash Wars as a universe. So this is like, for me, it's less what's in the ring, but just like there's the drama they create for their show, but then these people's lives are more dramatic than anything they could come up with. So just the kind of that kind of scene, and kind of embracing the like the golden age, or they call it of WWE, WWF, whatever you want to say, in like the late '80s, early '90s, where like these wrestlers are a bit a bit more cartoonish, and it's just insane, over the top, and this particular promotion may be in a place that might be, a couple decades behind the times, so it's, feels very current.
Yeah, and I remember, like one of the things that like immediately jumped out to me was like your frames of reference for it were Spinal Tap meets Airplane.
Okay, sure. Like those are some of my favorite things, and Spinal Tap because like docudrama. That's just one of my favorite things. I still want to do some way more exploration with that. Because when you're doing these shows, like The Office laid such a template for these things, it's hard not to just do it straight up. Like I just started watching the Ricky Gervais Office thing again. I'm like, man, it's so good. But like just that format just works. You know what I mean? You get a couple, like you're there. So like I wanted that not to be The Office in particular, but I did want that kind of documentary feel. And I'm still kind of like even thinking about how that, that really works. Because like, Spinal Tap, you got Martin DeBerge, Rob Reiner, R.I.P. My God. No. Yeah, it's wild. Like I just watched the second Spinal Tap. Amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. The end continues, but yeah, like that whole doc thing. I just I love that format. I love that style. I think it's great. And then movies like Alfie, where you got like the character who can like talking, and then they'll like acknowledge the camera, and then back to the scene as if nothing happened. Like I love those kind of seamless transitions.
The Michael Caine Alfie.
Yep.
Yeah. I unfortunately only watched the Jude Law one. It was my favorite movie.
It was your favorite movie? Okay,
that's
well,
an
there
overshare.
You go. So yeah, that's overshare. You're oversharing right now. I'm traumatized. Yeah, no, it's I wanted to do a thing in like a world that I'm at least passionate about. Not that I know the most about everything, but I got Jake Martin. I'd call him a good expert. Yourself, like what I mean. There's enough people there that I think we can keep it legit enough for everyone while still just doing some ridiculous comedy.
What I like, and the other thing about discount wrestling, and I'm trying like there's a consistent style that you're developing in all of these projects, and in discount wrestling, like the Phantom, there's like a heightened, dramatic. Homage kind of characteristic to your creative work that I feel like is like you're paying homage to your past influences, and I talked about you're not afraid to share your influences, but you're also like not afraid to make something that's like aware of itself but not in a cringy meta way. It's like the Phantom's entrance, and I don't know if we can share the proof of concept that we shot with the Phantom.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, we might as well show the
You
clip.
might as well share a clip.
Is he new? Is this one of your dumb gimmicks? Who the fuck are you?
My dear sweet Marie, don't you remember? You practically created me! I have died 1,000 deaths, but now I have risen from the grave to reclaim my rightful place as champion! Now, Marie! Strike down this vile conman and stand by my side! We shall rule this ring together!
Holy shit, I need to sign you! Can you do all that for no money?
That character you said was influenced by Phantom of the Paradise, Brian De Palma. I just like if you could talk more about your influences and how they've kind of informed the work that you've done. And the other, I'd like to show clips of earwigs.
I'm sorry.
A twisted world where science and love collide. Man becomes monster, a monster with an insatiable lust for female flesh.
Like, it's very clear that you're having fun doing the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, it stems from just watching a lot of television. I've always lived somewhere where there was like a video rental store, nearby. So especially in like Cape Breton, where there's nothing, you know what I mean? Like you get TFC on 2 fucking channels, so you gotta rent movies, and that's just I've been renting movies my whole life. So just early on, like I just saw some key movies at a key age, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, holy crap, the Naked Gun movies. Those are still some of my favorite movies, and Hot Shots, like all those spoof comedies. I love them, even the terrible ones like Saturday the 14th. You thought Friday the 13th was bad. Get ready for Saturday the 14th. The terrible movies, but comedies and horror movies too. Because there's another Peter Jackson. He's one of my favorite directors for sure. And like he had a quote, like he's not into violence, but there's a level of violence that's so extreme that it's hilarious.
Right.
Yeah. So I like to investigate that sometimes. You know what I mean? There's with some of these things, just wherever you can find comedy. That was funny.
That was a big one.
Jeez.
On camera. Wow. That was my first sneeze on camera.
Okay, embrace it. Yeah.
Sorry, just pick it back up. Several sneezes later. As a director and a creative, you consistently find ways to execute ideas that are representative of your style. And I think if I could show a music video you shot recently, and if you could speak to the whatever monster that you had created.
Yeah. That's my buddy Paul's band, Black Spectre.
And what's the song called?
Halifax. The song is called Mother. It's like the Danzig song, Mother.
Black Spectre, Mother. We'll show a clip.
The Mother is a hideous monster. So Paul, yeah, he's amazing. So I wanted to work with Paul forever. I work with him here and there on little things. Like I did like a post-apocalyptic music video in a junkyard where he made a bunch of masks for me, and he does a lot of these crazy horror masks. So for this one, this is his own band, and he had this idea for this like monster he wanted to make, this mother, and she's like oozing, and she does all this stuff. She's like half a spider. It's pretty wild. So he built this thing, like we were talking about this for months, and like we set a date for production, we're gonna do it, make a deadline, and we got there. Like he built this this amazing thing, and it had all these like hoses to shoot like ooze and all this gross stuff. It's insane. And it had like basically a 3-person puppet. And what can I say? Like he nailed it. So yeah, we did this thing, and I love these projects where it just kind of works out. So yeah, we talked about it, planned it. I knew exactly what we needed to get. So like we went up there, shot all the band stuff one night, and then the next day shot the whole puppet thing, and that was it. And I edited it in a day. Like it just came together, and everyone was happy with it.
And that kind of like reminds me of like your technical expertise, like obviously in sound, like post-production specialists. I haven't brought up the fact that you did the sound mix for like all 5 episodes
Wash Wars, yeah.
in a week, which is insane. And the sound is incredible. Like the cloak sounds, like there's so much attention to detail.
Do you like my cloak? It's for the equinox.
What do you want?
Yalla, Polly! Good luck, my chickadee.
Every whoosh is sacred. Yeah, that's a whole thing. And like sound is one of those things. It's tough, like because it's like a painting. When's it really done?
Yeah.
Every sound edit's a work of art. No, I love to put time and effort into that, and sadly it takes a lot of time and effort to do that stuff. But that's one of those things too. I just find I'm not scared of, like, you can make up for like a lack of talent with just brute force. Like, you know what I mean? If you just put enough time into something, you can elevate it a bit. So I'm not afraid to do that sometimes. Just
And so, like, what does that look like? Like, is there an example without throwing any shade at anybody?
You mean like just polishing terrible? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I run a sound business. No one's going to send you, would you fix my good sound? People are only going to send me end of the world disaster audio, and that's what I'm used to. So yeah, I'm not afraid of any of that. And there's no specific examples. Just like some of these things just take time to deal with. And nowadays, there's even more tools like AI stuff, all this crazy stuff. Not that it fixed anything with it,
Yeah.
But it's just the technology's changing. There was a while where it's like sound, we can't get any better, and it's better now. It's getting better. There's all kinds of new stuff coming out, so I was trying to keep an eye on that. But I love that stuff. That's a whole other side of it. You know what I mean? Sonically.
Oh yeah, I don't even.
Then you get into music. It's a whole other can of worms. Like, I'm just into anything. You know what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of none. I'm not afraid to try it.
Yeah.
So.
So like, let's talk about like getting into the film industry. Like,
Okay.
You grew up in Cape Breton.
And PEI.
Okay. And then you went to school. Is it for engineering?
Yes, in Fredericton. So I was living in PEI at like high school age, and then I went to Fredericton, and that's one of those things like I need to do this and get a job, and it's just one of those things like I was good at math in high school, like this will be fine, and like ultimately, how do you say it, like, it just wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't my people. It wasn't for me, you know what I mean? And I felt like I was sacrificing at least, an attempt at doing some kind of creative work or storytelling and that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to pursue that or be involved in it in any way. It wasn't even like directly like filmmaking right away. It was just like any kind of like multimedia or like video, graphic design. So like ultimately, like I switched from engineering, and I did like a multimedia degree with the film thing with like Wally McKinnon and John Dunsworth. That was cool. It was good to do some acting stuff. And he was amazing, and he was a super good guy. And we only had him for like a few days, but learned so much from him. It was awesome. Like, singing Roy Orbison songs. And
when was like what year, like time
this would be
period?
like, say this is 2007 ish.
Okay, so like, and then you were here.
I'm old.
You were in you had established yourself in New Brunswick, or like were working in the film industry during when it was like that first golden age.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting for the second golden age.
Okay, I can tell this story better. Okay, so blah blah blah. I actually graduated. So the real film in New Brunswick, what got me into it was the New Brunswick Film Co-op, best co-op in Canada. So they're very supportive. So because of the New Brunswick Film Co-op, it's like a network and a resource. There's so many people connected to this that are like doing short films. So when I started doing sound. Like, I was into music, I was just into sound anyway. But it's one of those things that there's just not a ton of people doing it, and if you can do it, there's a lot of opportunity to get involved with other people and to help them, and it can go from there. And that's kind of how it happened for me. So I started off. I volunteered on 100 shoots. You know what I mean? I just did anything I possibly could, and and then the other side of it, you learn by making mistakes. So sorry, anyone short film who I made every mistake you could possibly make in every aspect of it.
That's the only way you can learn in anything in film.
I'm still learning.
It's literally the only way you can learn in film, I think, because it's so there's no, structure to how to there's no cure-all solution.
No.
Or game plan or process. So you just have to.
Yeah, School of Hard Knocks. So yeah, learn by making mistakes, and then mentorship I do think is important. Like, if you can mentor under anyone for any length of time, I think it's beneficial. So that kind of happened for me. Like, say if I lived in Toronto or Vancouver, I probably could have learned a lot more about sound earlier on in life by just getting full-on experiences right away. But I kind of like got them over time. But there's also a benefit to that too. I don't know. It's like I eventually got there. Like I can do a shoot,
Right.
I feel confident enough now. But, it took a while to get there because, like, it's hard to get that experience because there's not a lot of, like, feature films. Like, I got to work on Copperhead is one they shot here at King's Landing outside Fredericton in 2012. That was a great experience because, like, there was, like, half Nova Scotia crew came over and, like, it was, like, a real co-production kind of a thing. Maybe not yeah. I don't know. There were people from New Brunswick working on this movie.
And elsewhere.
Yeah.
But what was it like at that, at that time? Because, I obviously, I wasn't even, I was trying to write poems at that time.
Nice.
I wasn't even in the film industry, and I was living in Ontario. What was it like? And, you're one of, a lot of the stories that you hear, once people get to a certain skill level, to specialize, they go elsewhere, whether it's Montreal, Nova Scotia. You're one of the crew that kind of stuck around while also experiencing that time where the tax credit was competitive in the province. So what was it like then, and how has it been since 2010 when the tax credit went away?
Yeah, it's basically, when I started my business, is right then I had there was a bunch of, on paper I had it was successful. This was a good business on paper. And then reality, literally right away, the tax credits were taken out and all this stuff. And, I was just happy, where I was and, the people in my life, friends, family, everything was good in New Brunswick. So it was I'm just going to try to, just make a go of this and just find my own way. But is tough. I had to be very versatile, and I think I was just because of maybe it's a multimedia degree, but I did PowerPoints to survive. You know what I mean? There's lots of different things I did, here and there just to make enough just to keep it going. And it wasn't really until the pandemic thing that the need for video and stuff I found went way up, and that's just okay, that's when things got real good. But I survived I'll call it the dark ages,
Right? Which is
2012 to 2020.
Okay. And after 2020, things started picking up again?
Yeah, that was the thing with the pandemic. I was doing shows. I didn't feel bad. I was doing we were doing it right before. I think it was February or just before. We're doing this travel business. They had this talk show thing when I was working on this, and they're talking about all these amazing travel plans, and not a month later, you know what I mean? Just everything shut down. Oh my God, I hope they hope they did all right, but just everything kind of blew up. But then it kind of came back together in a different way. So I was lucky. I was working on The Curse of Oak Island. At the time, that was a good gig. I would dip into Nova Scotia and do that show. It was amazing. I learned a lot. That's where I learned all my wireless microphone stuff. Good skills to have. But I don't know. I think it was just how do you describe it? Just a more need for video. I think the power used to be in the producers and tech people were very disposable. Then I think it switched. I think the technician became way more valuable because everyone and their dog was producing or wanted to produce, but you don't have the people to do it. Yeah. So I find that's where the switch happened. And then if you were a technician and, keen enough and willing, networking, I at least been trying, however successfully, arguably unsuccessfully for a long time, just to keep your name out there. But I was just at least able to capitalize on, when there was a need for, technicians. So I still love that stuff. I'll work on anyone's thing, for fun or otherwise.
Yeah.
Getting paid is good, but it is what it is.
And at that time, from 2020 on, was it did you because I'm part of the great COVID migration
yes.
to St. John. I had a partner. I was doing my PhD in Ottawa, and then we came to the land of cheaper rent to live close to our family and finish our work remotely. And so I never thought about how did you see firsthand the community grow? Like there was just all of a sudden more work? Was there more people in the scene at that point?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. So yeah, there's more people, and it still kind of comes in waves, but like and like Bell Productions, like that seemed to ramp up.
Yeah,
because they were always kind of there, but it feels like now, like it feels like it's way more of a thing. And
yeah, it was like Paul Gardner. Shout out to Paul Gardner at Bell 5 and all of his team. Like, I think it was right around when Brit Out of Water got greenlit.
Yeah, there's amazing stuff. Yeah,
shot in Miramichi. Like, Bell had changed their mandate and said they wanted to lean more heavily into scripted projects
and regional.
Regional, and trying to find like greenlight projects of like up and coming, like emerging producers and creatives. I think it's still an uphill battle in terms of like whether or not it's a sustainable model, but like, we're part of the fight to keep it going, because in New Brunswick, that's really like,
it's a real opportunity, and I think it's amazing, and I'd love to see it keep going. So yeah, I'm and as far as I can tell, like there still seems to be a lot of people doing it, and the content is good. Like I go on there, check out what's going on. I'm watching the latest Donnie Dunphy.
Yeah,
it's
and I mean, hopefully we keep up the trend. But like last year, I think they got like at least 3 shows that had a Canadian Screen Award nomination last year. So like, the content's getting sold elsewhere. Like Car Wash Wars was a part of that. But like it's quality content. Like one of the things about your bio that stood out for me is what is it? You got a PhD in gossip.
Oh yes,
from your mother's craft
store in Cape Breton.
And I know from talking to you, you're like, you have your gossip game is strong in absorbing it.
And that's the secret to gossip. You never turn down gossip, but you got to be very careful about spreading gossip.
Yes.
But if someone comes to you with gossip, you must accept it.
Oh yeah, you can't say no.
That's the undergrad.
Yeah.
The PhD becomes owning the place or business where the gossip gathers. So that was my mom. Right. She had a craft store, and then the upstairs was like a house where we lived. And and then just anyone who stops by, they come in, and who's got the dirt, and and I just witnessed this my whole life, and pretty hilarious, really. I heard some,
Did you work there, or did you just like hang out? And
I think it'd be a stretch to say I worked there, but like I'd help my mom with some stuff, but like she did it.
Yeah. Do you consider like Cape Breton to be home?
That's a good question. Yeah, more so than PEI. Like I moved to PEI. My dad was RCMP, so we kind of moved every like 5-6 years. But we moved in '97 when they built the bridge, because that's when it was only feasible to live there. You wouldn't, like the ferry otherwise. The Confederation Bridge. Yeah, that big bridge.
Oh, to PEI. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the causeway.
The Canso Causeway. No, that's a good one.
Yeah,
it's a good song about that causeway.
Oh.
John Cabatrail. It's a Christmas song, I think.
Okay. Yeah. I know Alistair MacLeod, No Great Mischief, that book. A lot of great Cape Breton stories there. But yeah, I just want like.
But yeah, I grew up around and I think that's part of it. So like my mom had a craft store, and in part of the craft store, like fiddle music all day. So I grew up with a lot of that, and books. She sold like all those you go into a craft store, like those kind of books you see. So like a lot of local stories, a lot of local folklore, and some of them like a lot of ghost story books. And I love these growing up, like all those ones with like a forerunner. Like, you're playing cards with some mysterious figure, and then he disappears into a lick of flame. It was the devil. Some of these are real scary. Anyway, that goes on and on. There's a million of these, but I love, she had a lot of these crazy books, and I read them all because how else am I going to do?
Yeah. So, and
not going to mow the lawn for Dad, even though he asked me. Sorry, Dad.
He's probably grumbling. And that like the folklore and the local like haunted stories. Like I remember when we were shooting Lewis at the Fortress of Lewisburg.
Oh yeah, the most haunted place of them all. That needs to be one of those ghost stories. Where you're going around with the flashlight.
Yeah. I think this hour is 22 minutes, actually.
Did they do it?
A ghost sketch.
On Lewisburg?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
they
see
filmed
it.
at Lewisburg, yeah.
Oh my God.
But I remember when you arrived to set, like someone else had told me, like, oh, Bruce knows a lot of haunted stories about haunted stuff.
Yeah.
And I asked you, like, I hear you have some good haunted stories to tell, and you're like, what? This is Cape Breton. Everything's haunted.
Yeah, everything's fair enough. Like the ghosts of jobs. I had like friends who a friend his mother like worked out there like cleaning the place like at night and stuff, and they've got
they always
tons of stuff. Yeah, exactly.
They yell good night while they close up shop. Like I've heard those stories.
Saying good night to the ghosts.
And do you feel like that?
Say what you will about ghosts, but yeah, if they're anywhere, they're at the fortress of Lewisburg in Cape
Oh
Breton.
yes, yeah. There's demons.
And
there.
those bread pucks, delicious.
Oh, what bread?
I don't know if we had them when we were out there, but like I don't know if it's they must still do it, but it's like a big ball of this crazy bread loaf thing.
I don't know if we did have that. I think we had soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, those bread pucks are good. If you're ever out there.
Oh, I think I have had them like when I visited. But like I guess like do you feel like your Cape Breton origins and like I guess Cape Breton PEI has informed like your artistic interests and your creative interests?
Absolutely. I don't know, like my God. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
It's a tough one. Like, you know what I mean? Just I grew up as like an only child in Cape Breton, so I spent a lot of time, especially in the summers because my mom had the gift shop. You got to make up your own fun. You know what I mean? Like you hang out with your cousins, you can only hang out with them every so often.
Yeah. And it seems like, and I think
you have to embrace the imagination.
Yeah, and not take the despair of life too seriously.
Yeah, no, yeah, I got crushed by life at an early age, so there comes a time where you just got to laugh at it and just get on with it.
Well, one of the many reasons I love you, Bruce, and
that's generous.
appreciate you joining me tonight. But this is Bruce LeGrow. Keep an eye out for him, hire him, work with him, and jam with him.
I'll do in a pinch.
All right.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this. This was great. Yeah. Hopefully I did all right for you. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. My calling card is ending with high five. So.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Okay.
Boom. That was a good one.
All right.
All right.